Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Half Baked Sports. I've got a full panel here today. Down there on the far end is John Hughes. Got my co-host here, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
On my left over here, we have a newbie. Take it easy on him.
Nothing about this stuff.
We're going to call him Rodman for now.
That's my name.
So, another day, definitely taking a look at the different transactions in the NFL. Dak, Prescott finally came to terms with Dallas. At least that's what we've been told.
Well, Dallas came to terms with him, I think.
Either way you want to look at it, that's basically what's going on. Not a bad contract. I personally think it's a little bit more than what he's worth, but then again, you have to take a look what's out there. And unfortunately, the truth is not much.
And on with him being signed, and he has that puts Dallas like the front runner to win the NFC East. Whether they go any further than that, not sure. But
they definitely did the right thing by signing some other talent too.
Yeah, you got to put some people around him. He can't carry a team.
Exactly.
He cannot carry the team.
Well, and we saw that back in the day too when he actually had better numbers with Ezekiel Elliott getting his carries. So Zeke's still there. They definitely have a couple other running backs. It's more of a running back by committee now. I believe they re-signed one of their receivers and franchise tagged the other one.
Yeah, no, Cooper was re-signed last year. Zeke was re-signed the year before that.
And Zeke can catch out of the backfield, which is definitely an addition.
That's a plus. Both of them, actually, both their running backs that do well catching the ball out of the backfield.
And of course, with incentives, Dak Prescott could make a total of $160 million over the next 4 years. How much of that he'll actually see is to be determined. There is a nice signing bonus for this year and another bonus of $5 million on year 3 and 5.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, not a bad deal. And, of course, we're going to see inflated numbers like this because that's how it works. Just like the housing market, when you keep buying a house and selling houses, you notice that the whole block is going up.
The NFL has turned into flip this house. It really has. It has turned into flip this house.
That's one of the reasons why Texans are trying to flip their own house.
Yeah, and
they flipping out. Period. They messing their own selves up. I ain't trying to hear that.
But anyway, any other? Who else would like to chip in on this Dak Prescott?
Well, the only other thing I got is like this should have been done last year. Or the year before that.
2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, 2 years ago they should have.
You'd have got them way cheaper.
If
you'd have done this 2 years ago, then you wait now to when the demand is so high for him. And you're putting yourself in a no-win situation. His agent said no more than 4 years no matter what. So the way they structured the contract, it looks like a 6-year deal, but it's actually a 4-year deal. But on paper, it's a 5-year deal because there's on the 5th year, whether he's there or not, they still owe him $13 million.
I think it's because with the new contract, it starts this year, so it's total 6 years out, but it's really only a 5 year.
It's only a 4 year with a 2-year extension on it.
Yeah.
So Dallas, thank you guys for finally getting this burden off of you because it was a distraction all season. Even before he got hurt, it was a distraction. It was a distraction for you guys before the season started. Now y'all got that out the way. Let's see what y'all can do.
And I think you're right. I think definitely with Dak, they definitely have a shot at taking the East, the NFC East. Without Dak, we saw what happened with with the Red Ryder BB gun.
Red Ryder BB gun.
Y'all overpaid. I'm sorry. You drastically
I
overpaid.
agree. I think they overpaid. But once again, when you have a guy that's standing out, who else is out there? And we're not talking somebody to fill the hole. No, I'm talking about makes you competitive right now.
Which is true. I don't know.
So
I don't
who would you go for?
No. I would have made
you would have made this deal, but
this deal would. I agree with what they did. I'm not disagreeing with the deal.
Okay.
I'm saying, like we were saying earlier, you're 2 years too late because.
Oh yeah.
If you did this 2 years ago,
what do you think they would have gotten?
They would have got him for 31. Because remember, Russell Wilson was at 35. He's at 35 right now.
And what was Wentz's contract?
Wentz was. Wentz is 36 or 37?
36.
So
37.
They could have got a deal with him for 35.
Because he only wanted he only wanted 33. He only wanted 33. And they didn't want to budge over $2 million.
He wanted 33.
Oh, see, and I heard differently. I heard that 33 was actually on the table.
No,
Well, I don't know. I have to admit, I do
Well,
not know.
but the 33 on the table was for 5 years. He said no more than 4.
Oh,
That's
right.
what that probably
That
was.
okay.
But the thing is my only issue is the whole. Why'd you wait so long? Because when Romo was there,
Right.
you paid him right then and there, and he had no playoff wins. He has none. He's been to the playoffs one in his I think it was 13-year career.
Yeah.
13 years there.
Something like that. I mean, I don't know. I can
One
look it up.
one playoff appearance, and that's it. And you paid him a whole lot of money, and then now here you have Dak Prescott, who led you into the playoffs multiple times. If I'm right,
twice.
multiple times, and you took too long to structure this deal. Now you have to pay him behind Mahomes because guess what? The market demands for that, and guess what? What other quarterback can you find?
And
You
the killer
put
part
yourself
is
in this
he coming off an
predicament.
injury also.
Yeah, and he's coming off injury, so you don't even know what you're getting when he comes back. You put yourself in this predicament. You can't trust a red rifle because you don't know if he's going to be protected long enough to not get concussed or whatever. You got to see what you get with Zeke because Zeke has been poor performance. I think Dak and Zeke are
They go hand in hand.
hand in hand.
Well, they got drafted in the same year, right?
Right.
Okay.
And the only really star receiver you have is Michael Gallup, which is
No,
the best.
Cooper. Amari
Amari Cooper fades out. Like the last couple of games, he faded out. Michael Gallup is the one that got them the touchdowns.
Well, I put my money on Cooper before I put my money on
You
Gallup.
ain't got a choice. You paid Amari Cooper $100 million. So wow, I got to put my money on him. It's already on him. So, but yeah, otherwise, I like what the Dallas is doing. Overpaying players so they can be cap strapped, so they can eventually lose at one point.
Because when you cap strap, you can't afford
Other
key
people.
components to your team.
Because guess what? When you double team Amari and double team Michael Gallup and load the box with
It's
who's he going-
DraftKings, but in real life. If you're gonna overpay your QB, you're gonna have to find some really cheap running backs.
Oh yeah.
Well, you better get him out of college where you can brainwash him early.
You gotta be able to afford the line because the line's about to come due. They got the most expensive
Tyrone,
line.
right? Isn't he the one? Tyrone Smith? Is that his name?
Yeah.
They drafted like 4 or 5. Actually, it's probably longer than that.
Yeah.
He's like a 10-year veteran now. Yeah, he was like one of the best offensive line decisions they've ever made. And now-
Tyrone Smith.
Tyrone Smith.
Yeah.
And they have not done anything to even try to replace him.
I'm telling you, that line is the most expensive line in football. So
Well, I mean, we saw the line decay as soon as we saw Zeke kind of drop because when that line was solid, that's really when he got
most of the starters are injured, but
Yeah.
when they come back and now with this new cap for this year,
it's smaller.
Oh yeah.
you can't
They're
afford the
in
line.
trouble.
There's a lot of teams in trouble. That's why they dumping everybody. They literally, and I wouldn't be surprised they cut a lot of these guys, and then right before the season starts, they sign them back for cheaper money.
They have
Well,
to.
yeah, because what that does is that releases them from their contract and then allows renegotiation. So it's a tactic to help reduce the hit on your cap, which,
Yep.
as shady as it may be, it's simple.
it's a
You're
business
still,
first.
You're still offering them more than another competitor would offer.
Yeah,
basically is what they're doing.
And it's a business first, always.
Sadly, that is true. It is a business.
Like we look at it from a childhood perspective most of the time. Like, oh, I wish I could
wanna
play football
Yeah,
forever.
in a perfect world, we'd keep the players that we drafted back like they did back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, because you could afford them then.
Oh, man, and they got CD Lamb.
Yeah.
Man, wow! The next 2 years are gonna be.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're
in
gonna
2
be,
years,
which is now why you know why Skip Bayless is singing
The praises
Super Bowl,
of Dallas,
right?
yeah.
Super Bowl song. I mean,
But like I said,
They're gonna
but
definitely be-
it all comes down to that new coaching.
yeah.
They got a new coach over there for them now. You got Dak
Well,
Prescott coming
I
off.
like McCarthy. I mean,
But you
I
got
think
Dak.
he'll do good.
Well, you got Dak Prescott coming off an
Yep.
injury. CD Lamb is his second year now. Gallup has been overachieving. Amari Cooper is achieving, I guess is the best way I could put it. Ezekiel Elliott got to do his part in that line hold up. The offense is straight, which was not the problem. It was the defense that kept letting everybody score 40 points. So you got to put up 40 or 42. That's hard to do every game in
yeah,
the
but
NFL.
the offense wasn't scoring at all either.
No, when he was in the game, when
When
Dak
Dak-
was playing, yeah, they were scoring.
They were
They were scoring. He had so many games where he had to come from behind and catch up to 40-something points and win. But you got we call it the red BB gun, whatever.
Red Ryder.
Red Ryder BB.
But you couldn't. They couldn't. It's not the same player.
I can't take credit for that. I stole that from JJ Watt.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, you have to understand with you're saying that because Dak was there. They were 2-4 when Dak was there before he got injured. So
but the numbers were there.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
They were coming from
you
behind.
might want. It doesn't matter whether they were coming from behind or not, Chuck. He still put up the numbers. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about whether they won the game or not. I'm saying he threw for 5 touchdowns in one game. He threw 4 touchdowns in another game. I mean, these numbers are solid, but the defense is not stopping anybody. So that's just like what you saw with the Texans last year. You're coming from behind to win because nobody's stopping nobody.
Okay.
Because that's the best comparison I got to that team. Because it's the same thing, except they have a better running back.
But anyway, I think we spent a little bit too much time on Dak Prescott. Unless there's any last minute words you want to put in, Chuck.
All I'm saying is this. You're saying the defense didn't stop anybody. So in order for him to come back and win, they had to stop the other team from scoring to come back to win, right?
So after you gave up 40 points in the first half, then all of a sudden now you get together and you do
because
that.
They were
guess what that reminds me of? Tom Brady and the Patriots against the Falcons in the Super Bowl. So I'm sitting here saying if you don't let them get that far ahead in the first place, you don't have that issue.
Which is my point. Which is my original point.
Any last words you want to pipe in on this? All right.
I'm just listening to him talk. It's interesting to watch John talk.
It's all good. We're just glad that we have a 4th person this time.
I'm glad I can fill a seat.
All right.
Don't ever fill a seat. Take over. Say something.
I did say something.
All right. Okay.
So next on our topic list, and I actually like this pickup, although I think there may have been a better option out there, but Texans go out and sign Mark Ingram. I think this does help out their running game, although I'm in agreement. If AP was out there, Chuck,
he's available.
If he was available, I think you could have gotten Adrian Peterson cheaper.
Yep.
And but I don't know. I think there might be something left in Mark Ingram's tank, and as long as he's not like every down back. I mean, if he's gonna be sharing the load with the other one that they just signed, which is
they redid David Johnson's, but it's like
Johnson,
I
right?
said,
So
he got re-signed.
The Ravens.
Yeah, Mark Ingram.
Free agent.
Mark
The
Ingram.
Ravens cut him.
The Ravens cut him, and then Texans signed him.
That's what I was gonna say. Why did he leave? Because I know they didn't.
Well,
just take him from the
they
Ravens.
didn't really use him a lot in
No, they
Baltimore.
didn't.
Well, okay. So the thing was this: he's injury prone. That's why the Saints cut him.
See what I'm saying?
You have to
Texans
understand
gonna go and get
because
somebody
remember
else.
it was Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, and
the
even
tandem.
then he was injured. So
And before
Which
Kamara
is
was
why when
Ivory.
Kamara
It was Ivory was
you know,
there.
when they were
Yes.
doing the tandem. That kept the workload low, which helped his injury prone.
He's not
That's
an
why I'm
all-down
saying
back.
I don't completely hate it.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I think that.
But I
Let
could
me
put.
ask: is he needed?
Yeah, he's needed. He's needed.
It's always good to have another running back because you never know what. you're
But
gonna
the
get.
thing is, David Johnson
I'm
is
saying
not.
just
It's
Texans-
a year
the way
deal,
the-
right?
It's a
the
1 year
way
deal.
the
Yeah.
Texans do they stuff? I don't know. Sometimes it
Well,
makes
I mean,
sense now, but being that the Texans picked them, it's like that theory. Anything that can happen will happen with the
I
Texans.
do.
I think
I
so.
understand where you're going. I understand where
You
you're.
see what I'm saying?
I
It's-
completely understand. Unfortunately, we do have to at least give them the benefit of the doubt because it's a whole
always give
it's a
them
whole
the
new
benefit of the doubt.
organization.
You're right.
But I
You're
say
right.
this
You know
here.
what? You're right. You're right.
When you
I understand exactly what
when
you're
you
saying.
said he's injury prone, Chuck, David Johnson's injury prone. So now you got 2 injury prone running backs signed
talked
to the
about
team.
that last time when I said
The
Texans-
I just popped in my head. We got 2 injury prone running backs
I
now.
said this a couple of videos ago. For some magical reason, the Texans always get injury prone players.
Why?
Kenny Stills was injury prone in Miami. Brandon Cooks was injury prone, and not only in the Saints with New England and the Rams. Okay,
David Johnson.
Will Fuller.
used people,
Will Fuller
but
before the
I
last
mean,
2 seasons was
people
injury
love this
prone. Who else?
But it amazed me. Will Fuller wasn't injury prone in college. All of a sudden, he gets to the NFL. Everything breaks on him.
because
Everything breaks on him.
it's
a whole
just
different
something about them
ballgame.
and injury prone people.
Just like
I
you
don't
playing
get
the
it.
Pee Wees, you're not gonna step on.
Jadeveon Clowney, injury prone.
But okay, so basically, if you take a look, they pick up who's available. Okay, they know that they can't develop players because of the trade bargaining agreement
They don't have
that
the
limits your
popularity for people to come their way.
well, the trade bargaining agreement that the players in the NFL signed years ago limits the amount of practice that you can hold.
Yeah.
Which means that limits your ability to develop players. And of course, sadly, that means you have to take veteran people, even if they are
Falling
injury prone,
falling apart.
because at least they're veterans. They know what needs to get done, and they can get the job done. And unfortunately, that's where we're at now in the league.
And it's basically you got the bill from the ground.
And of course, they still haven't figured out with Deshaun. I know that the coach went on record to say they're
Deshaun
not.
He is not dressing up. And
yeah.
Curly is already. He's not gonna say it out loud, but he knows for a fact that it's a chance that Deshaun is not gonna be in the Texans jersey in the upcoming season.
And
He's not gonna say it out loud, but he's probably getting ready for that.
Exactly. This is what I see from the Texans and Deshaun. The Texans are looking at it like a business. You're my player.
You're under contract.
You're in a contract. You should play.
Deshaun, he hold the cards.
But Deshaun, he will hurt it'll hurt his money. But when you don't care about money, it doesn't matter.
What they said? They said he's gonna, if he sits out, he loses 20 or 20, 22, 3,
21 or
21.
Let me say
Yeah.
this.
But-
Let me put it like.
but who cares?
Let me say this.
But he still gets paid
Wait,
some money.
Hold on.
No.
You got the
He
mayor.
gets paid nothing.
You have the mayor of the city tweeting on your behalf to stay in this city. It don't matter about the money because he know for a fact if he goes somewhere else, he's gonna get that plus a little bit more.
He'll make it up in the back end.
He knows he's gonna get that back.
Yeah.
It ain't like he hurt now.
And he's not injured, so
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah, HEB made him rich. So
right.
No,
Probably why he's got the money.
exactly.
Deshaun Watson made himself rich. You made some good decisions, and you fight on not playing on the Texans. I'm a Texans fan, but it ain't gonna get you nowhere. That's how he feel. And that's
All I know is that they're playing a game of chicken, and
what I was talking about.
in this scenario, the fans are the losers.
Yeah.
Because until these guys can get out of their ego and actually come to an agreement on something, then the question marks above this team are going to still hang there. And this is just one position. They still have to worry about other positions.
They worried
But
about one player.
if you think about it, I mean, literally think about it.
And the draft is coming up too.
When has the NFL world talked about the Houston Texans this much? Never.
Back when it was the Oilers.
Oh, back when they were the Oilers were the Titans, so that you can't even go there. But the Oilers, but that's the Oilers of the Titans. I'm talking about the Texans. Even when they were doing good, they would be a splash and then they gone. Now every time you turn the TV on, the Houston Texans situation, Houston Texans. I think Cal McNair likes this. Oh, we've been talked about now,
Yeah,
but it's negative.
Definitely not positive. It's not really. Well, and as I say,
is good
there's
publicity. That's what they
there's
say.
never negative publicity.
Yeah.
But I do want to say it's definitely terrible for the fans because Texans have been a few key components from being deep runners in the playoffs.
Year before last,
I mean, let's take a look at how they almost beat the Chiefs 2 years ago?
should have beat the Chiefs.
Should have beat the Chiefs. So you've got so many key components, and then boom, now you're basically facing down
2 years later, you have jack
nothing,
squat
and
with a quarterback
Texans
that don't want to be there.
and no future because you're cap strapped. I think that they should come to an agreement, find a nice trading spot for Deshaun, and try to get as much of their futures back.
That's the kid. Back up.
In
That's
draft
what I was
status
catching
and
everything.
draft picks as they can.
Because, I mean, you might
He was
as
one that
well.
came out of practice
You can get
squad.
your
He was catching
quarterback on-
everything. That's what I'm saying. They got some players they can
Yeah,
build
but
around.
there's really no quarterback,
do you
and
have-
there's
who's
talk
gonna come
about
in here
trading
and
straight
take the
across
spot
with
of
Kyle
Deshaun?
Murray, which isn't a bad idea either. You get Kyle plus a few draft picks to complete what you don't have for the next few years.
Yeah.
That could help you rebuild. You'd be
And
relevant
stop
too.
trading away draft picks
but
on these
I think
almost
they really
players.
They're trying to get themselves in a running for a playoff season.
They want to make they want to make the playoffs this season.
They
And
need
unfortunately,
to think about the future instead of just right
well,
now.
I mean, but if you take a look at the division, it's definitely possible.
It is. Oh, it's possible.
But you
It's
don't
always
make the
possible.
playoffs without Deshaun Watson.
No.
If you're a
No,
Texan.
That's
And
not
that's
true.
true.
That's not true.
You
It's
think
not
the
saying
Texans
that
without
you just
Deshaun
can't
Watson
make it
gonna make the
without
playoffs?
If they
Name
gonna
a
get
QB.
somebody and put some work into them,
Name a
and
QB
he
that
won,
they could get
the
right
team
now.
will get- Well, I can't.
See, and that's the problem.
I'm sorry. I tried. I fought for y'all for a minute.
The only one that I think that is hungry enough is Alex Smith, and with that comeback leg, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks.
Maybe
there.
The Texans, they'll pick him up just because he was injured.
No, but see he's on the same page
Yeah, now
already.
I agree
just
now.
saying,
Now I agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, it took him one show to get on page with everybody else.
I would agree to
Yeah,
that.
well, welcome to week 10 of the Texans.
I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
suiting
sorry.
up the the cheerleaders because half the team is on IR.
Right?
Or suspended because of a drug problem.
They might as well.
It might well be the Cowboys in the 80s and the 90s.
So that's some of the latest stuff. Take a look at the transactions. There have been a few signings here and there, kickers, some defensive players, and of course a few linemen here and there. Nothing real noteworthy that's going to make a headline. But definitely take a look at that. If there's anything that you guys want us to discuss, like, subscribe, put your comments in below, and we'll do our best to address anything you guys put in front of us. All right? And any last words, gentlemen?
I got to say hats off to Chuck because he broke the Arizona potential trade before the NFL Network did, before ESPN did, anybody did. This man said it first.
That's my go-to guy. Questions I need, you got him.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is what happens when you play a lot of Madden.
Yes.
All right.
I would agree.
And one little small thing. I tried this trade on Madden, and Madden wouldn't even trade. I'm just saying.
All right. Thanks again. Like, subscribe.
That's how the game won't let you cheat.
With that, we're out.
We're out.